Hello YouTube, Damo_23 here, and welcome back to another episode of the Paris 13 Atletico Save, non-league the Legend, the French edition, doing it better than PSG, whichever way you refer to it. Today we have got the episode which will see us hopefully finish in the top four or bottle it yet again. We're in a position where we could have. Poor run of form cost us last year. This year, after being knocked out in heartbreaking fashion in the Europa League semi-final, we're going to have a bit more fresher legs for these last three games, and our run home isn't as hard. As you can see, some teams have already played today, so there is a world where this game might just be enough for us to finish in the top four. As you can see, the most points that Marseille can get to is 63, so a win today would seal the deal. However, we've obviously got OJ Nice, who are currently fourth and fighting to finish in third. We have a look at the league table firstly, and then go to rules. Money's still an important factor for us. You know, finishing third's 14 mil, finishing fourth's 12, and then finishing fifth is 10. I would much rather the extra 4 mil as we're still looking to progress this this side of ours. And next year we definitely need to still think. I think 4-2-3-1 is probably going to be the way to go again. And I just think we need to tweak a couple of players, etc., etc. Anyhow, we do look like we have a good side. Got to recap here on Marseille first. Marseille have their FC Nantes and then Lille on the final day. Not too easy fixtures. They somehow did beat PSG 3-0. They drew to us, which was a big result considering their run of form. And then out of nowhere, Rennes beat them 1-0, who are trying to hang around, but aren't particularly. There as well. Lyon now, after their latest results, cannot get near us, but obviously you're in the Europa League. They just got beat by Monaco to kill their hopes. And yeah, then lastly, we've got ourselves and OJ Nice. And at the minute, our run of fixtures is OJ Nice, Brest, and Bordeaux. If you have a look, you got Bordeaux fighting for their lives on the final day, and you got Brest who are looking to try and make Europe, so it's not particularly the easiest run. But lastly, OJ Nice have got ourselves, PSG, and Harvey AC. So there's a world where if OJ Nice do beat us, we're still going to be ahead of them on the final day if PSG does their job, because the title would not have been won by then. So there's a lot to play for, but however you look at it, win today and we will make top four and Champions League football, and that is the name of the game here. Let's get into it. And away we go. It is only a few days after we've played. As you can see, Bakayoko's not fit. Long Yellow is not 100% fit. I am going to change one of them, and it is going to be Issa Endor, who has been in... Look, to be fair, I know he wants to leave, and we probably will look to sell. He's been in outrageous form. Anytime he has stepped on the park and played really well last time. Colley's finding goals again. Still think he hasn't scored enough goals this year to warrant staying or, to warrant starting next year. But we'll see what we can do. In terms of the rest of the team, picks itself. Melbourne fantastic. Dosu's Dosu. Wenja Ford is developing, even though we have made signings for that role. Billing's getting a bit older. Billing's starting to decline. At 32, we need to see this guy now become a squad player. And if we do, we're going in the right direction with the squad. Indoor, Melbourne, Dosu and Colley has been a front four many a time throughout this save. One win's all we need. One win is all we need. I want you guys to pick off where you left off last time, because we did win that game. Even though we lost in a shootout, we did win that game. Got to actually move Indoor from minute 1 into an inside forward on attack, because he does prefer it. We're going to go in here against OJ Nice. Tony Martinez, you've got Marcus Thuram, Marcus Edwards, as well. Amrabat's in the middle of the part. They've also got a few decent regens too. They're a very, 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 very good side. Let's get into it. Let's see what we can do. We are in the fluoro. They're in their red and black. Potentially 90 minutes away from Champions League football for the first time in the save, which would be awesome. Would have been nice to have obviously made the Europa League final. I'm still a bit bitter, but it is what it is. Anyway, Wenja Ford picks up the ball and goes down the line. He's got not much on, and in the end, decided not to give up the ball and left Marcus Thuram just to nip it off him. Edwards is there. Tossin makes a good tackle. Marcus Thuram hits and, well, was very close to a 1-0 lead. I think the question would be, would you take a point? At the point closer to top 4 football, so yeah. But I also think we're in a position where we can definitely look to attack the game if it does get to that stage. As you can see, though, possession-wise, it's starting to even itself out, but OJ Nice have had the better of the game here and are starting to really dominate. But when Ford finds Melba Lie, and he does have options in front, and Billing's one of them, and he knows how to go forward. He now needs to find a midfielder or wing back, and he finds Vinicius. Issa Endor made a good run, was ignored. Long yellow, Billing, Dosu, just wide, was a good move, was a great move, a flowing move, but unfortunately, not one with the ball going in the back of the net. Starting to get into the game a little bit there. The last little 10 minutes or so, we've done okay. I would still say OJ Nice have been the better side. And with that being said, I am going to thrash my arms and say, come on, boys, you need to do better than this. We need some service up top. We need something to happen here. 48 minutes played. Dedic, Turam. Hits. Schindler with an easy save. That was apparently the highlight. Interesting. Set piece, Dosu. Whips it back step. We got some height back there, but in the end, Beneto does it well. Bento, probably, not Beneto. Bento. Keeper's going to go long. He's going to throw it out to his centre-back. He's going to go long. We do have height there. Tosson's pretty good in the air. Long yellow's good in the air. In the end, they allowed the touch, but we did win it back straight away. They squeeze us quite high, which I don't mind, because Billing loves showing up and getting on the ball here. Vinicius, that's poor. It's the decision-making there. It's just, why are you trying to run with the ball there? And apparently when Ford turns into his man, and that's a goal, Marcus Edwards ain't going to miss that. 1-0 down. 1-0 down. 1-0 down. His fault. No one else has played well. His fault too for leaving it behind. Double change. 2 shots only. We're being dominated. Melville back to Tossin. Finds Dieng, Tossin, Zeno, Billing, Zeno. Poor. Endor never even looked towards you, mate. Hector Fort tackles it straight to Turam. The match engine, man. Like, that tackle should never fall there. Deflection straight to Schindler at least. Game's kind of screaming for this at the minute. Going to move into the 5 at the back and try and find a moment. We've not really had much to write home about. Then move into the 4-2-3-1 as we move into the 5 at the back. Headed away, only as far as Marcus Edwards. I think this is all she wrote here, boys. We're going to have to do it the hard way. Could have just been one game and a win. Apparently we're looking to see if this foul was inside the box or not. If they give a penalty here, I'm going to be livid. Alright. Well, considering the foul happened outside here, then no, there was no foul. Fair enough. The game's had a bit of a moment there. Tony Martinez head straight at Schindler. Yellow and Billing both look dead. Dosu's had a stinker. Michele's going to come in for Dosu, who's had a stinker. Bakioka's actually going to come in as a left wing back. I'm going to go for it. Long yellow, who's coming off. Dieng. Billing. Colleen. Melba could have continued his run straight into the spot there and it would have just picked it up and been 1-on-1, but no. It's a good ball from Collie. Melba should really be there. Looking to squeeze. A goal for them here as we make a change would be heartbreaking. It wouldn't be heartbreaking. It would just be game over. Trying to block up the middle and hit them on the break here because they've been so dominant. Just the thing is that we just have games where we're not good at all and it makes no sense. That's a great ball to Hector Fort. Collie made a run and then stopped. Like, that's the space, man. Like, he just needs to fill this space and a ball down the line. Eventually, Hector Fort fills that space. We've got numbers in the box here. Ball in, full straight to him. Collie. When this man is on, he's on. 1-1 against the runner player. What a volley. It's his 20th goal in all competitions. In the end, finally put a ball into the space in behind their fullbacks for our attacking fullbacks. Billing chips one up to him. I think it was meant for Melba Light, but Collie didn't know, and he just side volleys it over his shoulder in. Yes, we are going to make the changes. And yes, there is a highlight from kickoff because, well, it wouldn't be Football Manager this year if we had a highlight from kickoff. It wouldn't be Football Manager if we didn't concede from kickoff as well. Bakayoko, my word, this match engine. Mercifully, that goes wide, but yet again, it's a highlight from kickoff and tackle that falls straight to the opposition. Just stupid. Anyway, Fabiano, Brozovic, Amramat, Melbalai wins. McKaylee off the bench. That's a red card offence. Fabiano caught him. He didn't go to ground, so it shouldn't be whatever. We're going to go for it. It's definitely where we got to go for this. Got to go for attacking, and we're going to go into that, take that off, and play for a set piece. Let's go. Can we find something? Also, don't think low crosses. Bakayoko whips one. Tossin doesn't win. Wilf only falls as far as Dieng. Zeno can actually hit a ball. Needs to keep it though here. We need to keep it. Need to recycle. Good ball to Bakayoko. This is what we brought him on for. Byline. Cuts it. Hector Fort heads home. And as it stands, we're going to Champions League next year. As it stands, we're going to the Champions League next year. We haven't been great in this game, but the five at the back, and I think that's what we need to do, a little bit more switch in and out of the systems. A bit lucky with the deflection. Yet again, another match engine you just look at and just go, realistically, is that ever going to happen? But yeah, we will go for it. I still think being on attacking is the right play here because we're going to hit them on the break and kill the game off. But that's a ball and a half. If they score, deflection, if that falls to, I'll be livid. Melbourne, all he has to do is win this ball. This would be totally against the run of play. Mario Jr. chips one. Tony Martinez heads and Schindler saves. Rightio. That's enough for me to make maybe some changes back. Distribute to the target man, go long. Still the counter. Regroup when we do. When possession's won, we do counter. I think we go into a bit of a lower block. Don't present that. Hey, the Fort's actually going to hold as a wing back on defend. I'm still going to let Bakayoko go. Still think we're going to let Bakayoko go. Dieng's actually now going to sit in. And Billing is going to probably go in and just leave it. All right, here we go. After seeing that highlight, I've panicked. Come on, 6 minutes of added time. Surely we get home. Set piece. Backstick ball, cleared away. Need to get on it. Tossin does. Bakayoko's still there, and he's on his preferred left foot here going down the line, so he should get a ball across the box, which he does. Melbalai, game over. Bakayoko's a wing-back. Bakayoko's a wing-back. Hasn't played there once, but he's a very aggressive player. And now he goes there as a wing-back, and bang, boys. Love to see it. Picks the ball up, off the bench, as the super sub. He's one of our best players. Cuts it. Melbalai fires us into Champions League. Fires us into the Champions League. We weren't great, but that's the thing about this side, and something that we need to remember, even though we got knocked out of Europe and it was disappointing, is that even when we play poor, there's the ability for this team to go and turn around and actually produce. If it's not Collie, it's Dosu, and if it's not Dosu, it's Melbalai, or it's Bakayoko coming off the bench playing left wing back, something we'll keep in our back pocket because he went on complete wing back and looked unreal. But yeah, look, the red card changed the game. That flatters us, the match stats there, because up until the red card, OJ Nice probably deserved a 2 or 3 goal lead. But we came back, we've done what we needed to do, and we are Champions League bound. Champions League bound. No choke this year. We cannot be caught now. We cannot be caught with 2 games to go. And we are Champions League qualified. And that is huge. Board sets the budget. Ooh, let's have a look. I'm going to do that in a second. Board sets the budget. 14 mil. I can live with 14 mil. 14 mil. Not much wage budget at all. The wage budget has not changed. But we get 14 mil. I don't want to just end the episode here with 2 games to go. So what I am going to do here, YouTube, is we will come back to recap the last two games here against Brest and Bordeaux, and then next episode will obviously be the Season 8 scouting, which everyone seems to love. So when we come back, I'm going to recap the Brest and Bordeaux game, and see you guys in a second. Welcome back, YouTube. Season finished. Finished third, 70 points. Means we won our last two games. It's just the manner and the way we did it. We actually sat on stream and said, how do we get the best out of this team that's been a little bit inconsistent? I'll tell you how. I haven't played 4-3-3 since Season 1 because it didn't work. The 4-3 I built that at Brighton's on the break. I said, you know what? We've got players that seem to do well in the league on the front foot. And we've got players going in forward areas that are better than most. So let's build a 4-3 that has some defensive stability, but looks at going forward. And well, this system has done bits. I will say in game 1, I did start with a false 9, trying Mel Belay and a false 9 because it's very similar to the advanced playmaker role. We're now going to actually train him back along because he just went ballistic. And that's the team that just beat Bordeaux. And now I will say I just relegated Bordeaux, so they weren't great, but we beat them 6-0. 6-0 or 5-0, one of the two. Best performance I've ever seen us play, period, in this 4-3-3. It's a slightly different one. It's been based on my mid-block system at Brighton, but I'm actually about to save it after this episode as the 4-3-3 plan here at Paris 13 Atletico. Positive instead of balanced from that system that people may have seen. I'm actually gone fairly wide. You might be asking, Damien, why fairly wide? You'll see it in the highlights of these next couple of games. Bakayoko and Dosu, high, wide when they start, and will look to come inside once they have the ball. Or if there's no one in the middle of the park, they'll start wide and come inside. But it's more, if we're being penned back and we win the ball, we have an out ball because someone's on the touchline. And there is moments where Bakayoko burns his man for speed, which you will see in one of the goals, which is fantastic. It's pretty good. Mel Belay will eventually learn to be natural and be one of the best midfielders in the league in that role as well. So, which is good. And we went to a halfback instead of a ball-winning midfielder. Halfbacks generally sit a bit deeper, so we've gone with the halfback there, and I think it will work out very, very well. In terms of the rest of the stuff there too, shorter passing, but higher tempo, wear the ball into the box. It just means that with that higher tempo, if there is a ball over the top, they will play it, which we do see in a few of the highlights, which I'm about to show you. Counter and distribute quickly, you see a lot. Regroup, you know what I'm thinking, Dave? Why regroup? I feel like in the 4-3-3, if you get everyone in their positions as quickly as possible instead of trying to win the ball early, you're defensively more solid, and we've conceded a lot of goals. There is times which you may not see in the goals that I'm about to show you where we get back into shape and it's the left centre mid pressing someone on their right-hand side, wins the ball, and we've got an out ball out the other side. It's perfect. Or we get back into shape and then it's the winger and the left back actually together pressing. It worked very, very well. Something maybe it's worth tinkering with yourself. But I have gone, and this is definitely why it's not the big block system, and made it a more pressing system, a higher pressing system. We prevent the short distribution with much more pressure, trap outside and stop crosses, and against Bordeaux, who were notably better than, it was so evident because they couldn't do nothing and they couldn't get out at all. So a system that I've been toying with the idea a lot this year with the patchiness of the 5 at the back and the 4-2-3-1, that maybe we needed a 4-3-3 to be a bit more defensively solid like we are in the 5 at the back, but still look to play on the front foot, but also maybe look at keeping a more possession-based system in play. And it worked well. Drop Bear, how are you? Yeah, not bad, mate, not bad. We're in a YouTube episode, but cheers, mate. We are live on stream, of course. Give us a like, do subscribe, follow the links down below. YouTube as well. But I'm not bad, mate. Not too bad at all. Let's go and have a look at the goals in these two. The Brest game, like I said, we did start slightly different. Midfield trying to find their balance a little bit, etc., etc. But we did play okay. We'll show you the both goals. Bakayoko scoring both. If you get the guy in the right area, he's just unreal. He's unreal. But here's your goals. So a bit lucky here with Mel Belay, but how the ball gets to Mel Belay is maybe of note here. He might do a little bit more of an in-depth look. But this is when he was playing false 9, so this doesn't bother me. But because we regroup, Dosu's out on the left, so he will double up with the centre-back. But yeah, obviously not the typical highlight we want to see, but it's the numbers on rushing that's good. Like, look at the numbers in high up the field around everyone. Great goal anyway, fantastic. We by this stage have moved into a the 4-3 that you've seen, and like if you have a look at the shape here, we're so inside that teams can't play for us when we win it, and there we are, just like that. Diop's already played a ball straight in the collie. Who's playing advanced forward. Mel Belay, one touch as the advanced playmaker, straight to the top, the Bakayoko goal. And like that, It's short pass over the top. Brilliant. Then we're just going to go through the 5 goals here. There is a goal that Bakayoko scores that I might show you about the width being a thing as well. You would have seen in that run there, Bakayoko actually started outside the right wing back and came inside, or their left wing back. But we did dominate, and I don't know if you saw the match ratings, but they were very, very good. As you can see here, Diop picks up the ball, and straight away, because we're on advanced forward from minute 1, Collie gets inside over the top, and there's space, and their defenders are being pulled out of position by the width. If you go back to the goal and you have a look, Bakayoko, first run he makes is he's in a bit of a wider area, and you can see notably the space that's opening up. Because Dosu's not looking to sit inside and sit narrow and looking to be here already, he's starting wider. The gap's there for him to make the run into as well, which is great. Same way here, like, you know, if you're telling him to sit narrow or you're playing on just a normal system with an inside, they might sit in this channel and get blocked off. So, very happy with that. Great ball, great finish, great goal. There's number 1. Done. Right? Ball over the top. Look at the numbers chasing back. Diop, great ball out the Dosu. 1 touch in the Collie. Thank you very much. And that's the thing. Because you're on a higher tempo, they will still play it if they think it's on. This goal here is worth looking back from when we win the ball. So in this highlight, everyone's in a 4-3-3 shape. You think that maybe it's not going to be the highlight, and then here you are, Bakayoko, Wenja forward, Zeno, and the first thing the centre-back does is, okay, with the width of long yellow, there we are. Second thing is, instead of sitting inside and making no angle, because he's on width, he'll come all the way out to the touchline, and then look at the triangle created. The only thing you would say is, wherever the other midfielder is Diop, if Melbourne was to get on it, would he peel in? And I don't even know if that was his run. He actually touched himself to come back in. But anyway, if you have a look here, Dosu gets it, and then it's just poetry. 1 touch, there we are, the width and then coming inside. Fantastic. Collie breaks the line. Thank you very much. Great finish from Collie. He had a very good last game of the season. Then there's Bakayoko here driving wide. And yet again, you might be thinking, okay, well, we're going back to here. Defensively solid. Straight away, look at the width. Because he's being naturally wide, he moves down the line. And instead of us, where in this highlight we would lose the ball and turn over, we've actually got an out ball. If Diallo really wants to be brave, he could just fire one into Diop, who turns out, and we were actually out the other way. But ball over, and he's on an inverted winger role, but his natural instinct is, let's stay wide to create the space. Now watch him come inside. 1 touch, inside, beat your man, thank you, far net, great goal. And then we get a penalty, wasn't really a pen. And then this goal here, long ball, won it indoor. We get lucky with the finish here. But indoor off the bench, what could be in his last game. Hector Fort, full back on support, providing cover. Out the other side of Dieng. Look at the movement here. It's great. And then there it is. There's the ball. Numbers in the box. Advanced playmaker, striker, centre mid on attack, right winger, all in the box. Yes, it takes a deflection and goes through the keeper. But that is a system that we're going to build upon for next year. Because if it plays like that, yes, I know that we played Brest, who just finished outside of Europe, and yes, we relegated Bordeaux. There are teams that are only slightly better than Bordeaux. If we play how we played against Bordeaux, we would pump Harvey AC there, who may or may not stay up. We would pump FCSM, we would pump Ascenien, we would pump Toulouse, we would probably beat Montpellier and AJ Azoria very easily as well. Strasbourg, Lille probably have a bit more about themselves, and the verdict could be out against the big boys. But that's a great system. I think that's superb. First time the club's ever had more than 40 mil in the balance. It gives me interesting amount of what do we do with this team. But we're in a really good spot. Last thing we will touch on is Melbourne did win Europa League Young Player of the Year. 14 games in the Europa League, 6 goals, 3 assists, and average 7.4. And we were the biggest overachievers, making the semi-final, which is superb as well. Anyhow, from Damo and everybody else here, that's going to be the end of this episode. We make Champions League, we beat OJ Nice, and we discover a 4-3-3. That does look very good as well. See you next time. Thank you, and goodbye.